On to the episode with Ground Floor, where we can disagree, still be family. That's the theme song, What Up, Though, from my second album, JLE World, on the music copyright. Don't mute nothing. This me with all the titles, JLE, and my guest co-host, Jerome. Oh, he ain't got the glasses today, so he's just Jerome. He ain't Brother Rome today.
Hey, what's up, good people? Yeah, don't have the glasses tonight. Just trying to pack up so I can get out of here in the morning.
Today, for this episode, titled Selection, JLE, happy birthday. Well, this is a pre-recording, but Saturday is my birthday. Yay! And all that good stuff.
Hey, man, we're going to treat it as if it's today. So we're going to say, thank the Lord for you seeing another year. I hope that you have the best, B-day, whatever you plan to do, whether it's to go out and get something to eat with the fam, relax, whatever you do, man, enjoy that boring day. And it's always a blessing when you're above, the green side of the grass.
Yeah, that's true. Always fighting a good fight.
Yes, sir.
So this is a freestyle one, but we'll start off with the election. I've been voted. I think you said you recently voted. How was this?
Yes, sir. For me, the early voting, when it first started, I think they do it for 3 weeks. Is that correct?
Here it started, I think it started the 26th.
Okay, so you guys started a little later. We started, I think, the second week. I forget what the date was of October. So I think the first week was pretty busy. A lot of record-breaking numbers, things like that. By the time we got to the second week, it started to taper a little bit, and then this week, I would dare say I waited 5 minutes in line, and then went inside and I was looking at the little sample ballots because the presidential part is never confusing. That's straightforward. What's confusing is always whatever your state or county has with those proposals. Mm-hmm. And so everybody was complaining about that here. And so basically, whenever I get something like that and it's too confusing, but fortunately I was able to read everything. If I don't understand, I'm putting no for every damn thing. It just makes it easier, man. Do you want this tax and this? No. Do you want this or that? No.
Now, I did the absentee and I've signed up, so I hope they understand. I did put the X. I don't like people, I don't like crowds, so just send it in the mail. Let me sit down, elbow room, don't want to bug me, do what I need to do. And I've said I was going to say on the shows, I looked through all the candidates, been looking at what they're talking about, and I don't like nothing I was hearing. I voted for myself. So I was thinking, like, they always say Mickey Mouse get like 1% of the vote every presidential election. Like, oh, it's that last bubble. That's what they do. Gotcha. I'm going to write my name in because I ain't feeling some stuff he talking about. The biggest thing is some people I know that voted for her, and whoever you vote for, no judgment at all here. But I just found it very interesting how when she speak, it would be as if she was not a part of this administration. I remember at the election, the only debate they had, she started ripping into former President Trump. Well, because of your tariffs on China, it screwed up inflation, blah, blah, blah. And he basic rebuttal. If it's so bad, why did you keep it? Now, the Trump side was not wrong because they fact checked him on everything he said. They did not do the same with her. It was not fair. She starts saying, oh, you see the pretty colors, for example? I'm sitting here like, what the? She just ran off at the Gibbs that this dude tariffs is the problem. but they still got it. Where's y'all like, hold on, man, can you answer, can you respond to what he asked you? That's a fair point.
Right.
She's like, oh no, you know, that's a dog over there. Everything else but answer that question. Like, I'm supposed to vote for this bullshit right here. You're not like that, man, but he had a valid point. You just said it's screwing up everything, blah, blah, blah. I'm read you the riot act. Well, why did y'all keep it? Man, that's a blue color over there. Ain't that blue? Oh, what the fuck that got to do with? Answer the question, lady. Miss VP, what are we doing?
You know what's funny? What's funny is you absolutely right. I remember the 2016 election. The 2016 election, I remember that was the one where people were saying that they were voting for Mickey Mouse, picking Marvel characters. I remember people was really upset, but I'm looking at it like, at the end of the day, I know you guys out there may want, the red or the blue, but at the end of the day, you as the citizen has the right to vote for whomever you want to vote. And I wasn't the smartest person in those government courses and things like that, because that was never my forte. But one thing I can tell you is that I understood early on, before we even got the vote at 18. So our first when we graduated, that was our first year to vote, which is funny. And when you go back to that time frame to where we are now, you have to really do fact checking for all of your candidates. You want to look at all of those things, and it just seems like each election over the last several, it's getting to the point to now where it's like, it used to be a time people say pick the lesser of the two evils.
I'm tired of doing
now. Yeah, now you just like, okay, A and B. you doing so what you did to me, there's nothing wrong with that, because what I did? I went on there and was looking at the indies, because I didn't know who all the indies were on this particular ballot. So I was on there like Cornel West. I didn't even know he was running.
Yeah, he did say he was running. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He made the ballot. That's impressive.
Like I said, that's how far out of the loop I was on everything. So I started doing my research and everything on each individual person. And I hate to say it, but I'm pretty much like you on this year. I was like, excuse me, I just don't like what I'm seeing. And let's just be real. That's what my whole point of the government thing was for the classes. The electoral vote is what's going to count. Yeah, you have what they call swing states and things like that, where those certain things, but electoral, those people who are in those positions to be swayed one side or the other, those are the things that really count. Because let's be honest, if we go back to 2016, if we was going by the vote that you and I do, the popular vote, Hillary Clinton would have won the election in 2016, because she beat him by, I want to say it was 200 and some odd thousand votes.
Mm-hmm. And
if I remember correct, it was either 200 or 2 million.
She's the most qualified woman ever. And women hated her guts. I ain't voting for her. Like, she was the first lady, senator, secretary of state. She checked all the boxes. I don't bump her. I'm like, wow. Now, VP Harris, when she ran in 2020, I was looking at her as someone to vote for, because she was talking, this my foreign, this my domestic, no matter what show she got on. This time around, up until now, it was fluff. It's like I'll do Donald Trump, and whatever you pander to, I can pander to him better, instead of this my domestic, this my foreign. Like, okay, now you're doing something with people price gouging with food. I see those commercials on YouTube running nonstop. Like, what was that months ago? Now, I had conversations with people about if there's stuff going on that if President Biden did that she don't agree with, you ain't got to out your teammate. You can say, well, we tried this and we couldn't get this through. And let that be a campaign thing you're talking about. That matters to people. So just for me to list stuff, anybody list, you on my dad, he died, Trump voters attacked the Capitol. That's a fact. They had all the Trump stuff on. Nah, I ain't rolling with that. You want immunity for police. Now, some people say they're explaining that it's only for you can't take their personal property or income and stuff like that, but it's a few bad apples out here that will hear that as, oh, if I do some dirt, he gonna pardon me. No, I can't roll with you, dog. And then you're in charge. And I can't say this enough. You've never seen within the last 10 plus years, 2 Democratic presidents had control of Congress and couldn't get nothing passed. When President Biden had it, Obama had it, the Tea Party came up. This time around, we seen Joe Manchin. Now, this clown been in the Senate for years, never heard his name once. But I guess President Biden looked like, oh, he easy pickings. Oh, I ain't voting on nothing. He doing interviews on Fox News. He running the whole gamble like, oh, you about to run for president, huh? Because when Republicans have total control, whether they like it or not, they know their role and vote for whatever they want to vote for. If it's going to give rich people tax breaks, oh, well, you know what to go do. Democrats don't have the stomach to let their people know your damn role and vote for what we want through. The mandate was to do the George Floyd bill, police reform or oversight. None of that happened. Then people argue, well, you can't just do black people bills. So explain when they were attacking agents in New York. You can go look it up yourself. They instantly created an agent hate bill if you attack them. That was a guaranteed thing that they passed. Because they were literally where the subway, walking on the street, people running up attacking Asians. You made a bill. So don't tell them you can't make bills for certain demographics. Good plan.
Now you're 100% right when it comes to and let's be honest, it was just what, a year and a half ago when we was dealing with the anti-Jew issue things that was going on here. And they passed a law about that. They was real quick about that type of stuff.
So, dude, I can't. Where are you guys to start building your next leaders? And then you got former President Obama having the mitigated gall to fold his damn arms and tell black men who you need to vote for. Like he's somebody damn daddy.
I found that.
You.
I found that
white dad. You ain't grow up in the hood. Your wife give you a ghetto pass. She from the hood of Chicago. Quit playing.
I found that funny when he said he was hell. Yeah, he was upset and everything. But see, the thing is, let's be honest. Let's go back to 2008. There was a wave for. I think his slogan, if I'm not mistaken, was something about change.
Yeah.
And at that time, I remember there was a lot of people who was so pumped up during that time frame that they were like, hey, we can literally have the first black president.
Yeah. I voted for him.
I remember. Yeah, like I said, the 2008 had the momentum. I think when we got to 2012 was more or less a situation where they tried to go and get a stronger candidate on the other side to go up against them. And, I just think at that time we was coming out of that recession and people still just had hope and belief in him. So he wins the second term. He wins the second term. And then when Hillary went to go in 2016, what I seen that hurt her people was bringing up the Bill Clinton 3 strikes. He was the president that brought that into play.
Okay.
And the 3 strikes was the one I was telling you, where if you wanted offenders where, let's say you wasn't supposed to have any weapons on you, you get caught, charged with a weapon charge, caught with a weapon, and that's your 3rd hit. So say when you went to jail, that was or prison, that was the 2nd. Yeah. Now this time, that's your 3rd. Basically, they can keep you in there to the max of your sentence. So say you were supposed to do 8, you only did 5. They'll make you stay the extra 3 years. So that's what people was really upset about with her, that you allowed your husband to come in and lock all of the people up over those type of things.
Trade, which led to the outsourcing of jobs to any cheaper country.
Mm-hmm.
But he did that to get something else at the time. Forgot what it was. So it wasn't like he just did it to do it. It was a trade-off. But probably didn't realize in that trade-off, oh, you want 40 an hour? Psh, Taiwan, $2 an hour? Deuces. Your job gone, I'm taking that over there.
Mm-hmm.
And that just became like, what they doing, I'm going to do it. To where everybody did it. And now they're trying to bring jobs back. But neither party has been developing good leaders. That's why it do matter who you voted to the Congress, Senate, and House. Even the ones in your state who might want to go to Washington, because these people ideologies ain't about helping the people. You're going to keep holding your nose and picking less two evils. And that's getting disgusting at this point.
Mm-hmm.
With the grandparents, you're too damn old. Sorry. I won't know 70-some-year-old people running for president. No. Thank you for your service, but let someone 50s, 40s run the country. Y'all too old school. You're going to be too set in your ways.
I totally agree. I think after the 2020, where we are right now in 2024, I just feel like at some point we're going to have to put some type of mandate where there's a max of when let's just think about it.
You need an age limit on it.
Like you think about it. It used to be, it was probably 20 years ago, maybe. So we'll go 04. Most people that was retiring in 04 was going, if they was doing the right things, working for GM, Ford, Chrysler, things of that nature that took care of them, they was trying to get out of there at 62 or before.
Mm-hmm.
That was the number. Then the number climbed to 65, probably by 2010 or so. And then, unfortunately, because of the way the economy is, most people are going now to 70.
Yeah. Now, it might sound funny, but I do think the invention of Viagra changed the landscape. Because a lot of them plant dudes, they busting their body down, making that bread. I'm going to sit down and enjoy it. But when Viagra came along, it's unlimited overtime. I'm going to get these young tenders. I can last a little long in the bedroom. I'm still pimping. I ain't leaving. You start, the rise of the sugar daddies came along where females we knew. Oh, he 55 and I'm like 21. He got his own house. He got a timeshare. He got this. So he cashing out. And math is math. Like, you're going to have to get that thing up at some point to keep that money coming your way. You just be realistic. And you start hearing about Viagra. Like, what the? Oh, it helps them do the thing. Like, we go research this. Like, oh. Now they got different stuff they got now. Even something called honey. So I think once that came into the marketplace, the people that are probably retiring to go chill, go fishing, like, man, I can still get my pimp on, because back then it was unlimited overtime at the plants.
Right.
If you were the top tier, you could work 7 days a week. Let's say you're doing the forklift.
Right.
You gravy. I'm gonna give it this 37 hour, man. I'm going out to the club. I'm about to do my thing. And it made it harder for the young cats who ain't established. Dude, before we started hearing about flew out, they were doing that all the time back late 90s, early 2000s. Like, I'm just getting out of college. I can't do it. I go to Bennigan's. Man, we shopping over at Bennigan's. And he took me to Italy yesterday. Like, I can't. First class Italy. I can't do that right now. Shit. That dude balled. He got his life.
No, like you said, Jeff. What's that song? Somebody got a song. It'll come to me in a minute. But it's like when you bring something back, it rejuvenates you. I remember when we was kids, it was a movie. I think it was called Cocoon. Okay. And all of these elderly people.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think it was called Cocoon, and it was in the pool. It was in the pool, and these people were swimming like they was 20 years old again. Their bones were aching. And the one thing the movie didn't show is how they was, being romantic and things. And I always thought that movie was funny because I'm like, it showed them do everything else but that. I'm like, as a man, there's no way that them dudes gonna be that youthful and they not looking like, now they might not have been looking at the grannies that was there, but they was gonna be looking for somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So let's just say, so you gotta think about it. If a guy is 75, somebody 50 is going to be attractive to him because that's 25 years younger. You see what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where that's what they're gonna be looking for. I would think at that age, anything probably under 50 would be looked at as creepy, in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, some people look at 50 being creepy though, you're 75.
Yeah, they would. But it depends on what part of the globe you in. I think for when you 75, somebody 50 is kind of like, but I think if you 75 and you getting a 40-year-old, 75, 30, come on now.
Hey, you setting up your security fund.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, my granddad, he was still pimping at 80 with females in their 50s, late 40s. I'm like, what? He had that bread still. He didn't mind being a sugar daddy. I'm like, I used to sit there and laugh like, what did you just say? How old is this woman? You know how old my granddaddy is? I'm like, okay. So what's wrong with you, boy?
Yeah, hey, some of these folks don't care, man. You'll be amazed at how many of these folks don't care.
All the issues back then, I used to have a female. Once I slapped myself like, man, your daddy was a pimp before he was a pastor. Your granddad, he still, man, get your stuff together, boy. What's wrong with you? It's in the blood, man. Get your mind right. Just saying. And they was cooking and cleaning out. My mom couldn't stand it. Like, I mean, hey, daddy got game still. He get it for his money. Like, if he want to get the money up, he grown. I asked for help. He told me no, so he in his right mind.
In his right mind. Hey.
That's the oldest profession on this planet. Chasing that thing. He's always gonna be chasing that thing.
Hey, always gonna be chasing that thing.
Ain't never going nowhere. Wars been fought and all that just to prove that I'm big and bad for a female. Let's be real. One of the greatest gifts on this planet.
Hey, the greatest gift, man. It was something that happened this week. I was gonna bring up to you before we get out of here tonight. It'll come to me, so I'll let you keep talking. I got to think about it.
Okay.
Something.
What about that millennial video you sent me?
Oh wow!
About she saying how they were told to be independent. You don't need a man. Just get your degree, get the job. And I watched the video and I thought to myself, where was your parents? Because who is they that you're listening to? Other cultures can do two things at once. I ain't saying you got to marry your sweetheart in college, but you can. There's a lot of blue chippers that were in college out in the world. You ain't have to just race to get yourself established and then go see what's out there. And now you're going to be a little skewed if you making over 200,000. You're a VP. You're going to look at that cat like he a scrub. He just ain't established yet.
The funny thing, when I seen that video come across, I'm like, man, I got to shoot this over to Jeff. I found it funny that she said her parents taught her to be strong and independent, basically be able to stand on your own 2 feet, blah, 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 blah. My thing is, the women have fought so hard to earn the same amount of money that a man makes in that same role that they're in. I think the last time I checked, it was $1 to 72 cents for the woman, something like that. So they still not getting paid as you as a CEO in a company or CFO in a company, COO. And if you're teaching the young ladies to go to school, that's fine. Teaching them to be, independent until they get married, whatever the case may be, that's fine. But my thing was, I think what she was saying, I was like, I don't recall my friends who have kids telling their daughters and sons anything along those lines. I think a lot of people still doing what we were taught coming up, which is go to school, get you a decent paying job, and get you a house. You want to get married, have kids, do all of that. So it really boils down to if you can basically cohabitate with an individual. When you come together, we was doing an episode on our side a couple of weeks ago. Bishop had brought up teach your daughters to be interdependent, meaning when somebody comes along, she can basically merge right into whatever he's on when it comes to the structure, and then be able to be a teammate pretty much. And
Gotcha.
I feel like if you, an accountant, for example, we're not just talking a CPA, anything like that. Most accountants going to come out with a decent company, easily making probably in today's world 58 and up with a decent company. You know what I'm saying? 58 and up, because of the workload that you'll be doing with that type of field. So let's just say the young lady chose to strive for a 4.0. If you're striving for that 4.0 and achieving it, a lot of times you don't have a lot of time for young men or young ladies. If you're the young man, you got a little time, but if you focus on those books, it's like you got to pick your battles. And if your battles was academics, you got to go with the academics in the situation. So my thing is, we have to really look at that when it comes down to it, because the fact of the matter is, everybody wants that teammate, and you don't want to have somebody on your team that's an opponent. Looks like I lost the host of the show tonight, folks. Hopefully he'll get back on here in a moment. But I just really feel like if you're out there and your children are in college and things like that, I would say if your daughter or your son can date and be well with their studies, encourage it, because life happens fast and there's no telling when that spouse will come along. Those young folks are 22, 23 when they graduate. They don't have to get married immediately, but a lot of people like to wait until they're a little more established, a couple of years in their career. So, that'll put them, let's say, at 25, in some cases to 28. But I always try to say there's no timetable to love. Long as you and that individual agree to that time frame, you run with that. I think that's what's best. And I was telling Jeff that I wouldn't be able to be on here super long tonight. So I know we usually do closing remarks. We hope that you all go out there and vote. For those who haven't voted on this upcoming Tuesday, the 5th. We can't tell you what candidate to choose. We can't tell you which candidate to go with. We can't tell you who to vote for. But based on our ancestors and the things that they went through to get that Voters' Right Act for us, I think that everybody needs to go out there and vote as long as it's in your spiritual beliefs. And I'll let my host of the show here say his closing remarks. His closing remarks today on this thing. But as far as like I said, raising your kids, I think that it's better to raise our daughters to be interdependent so that she knows her role as a woman. When marriage is brought to the table, someone's proposing, he asks for your daughter's hand in marriage. You want her to be that Proverbs 31 young lady. You want her to know when the individual is the right one to be submissive to. And that's my take, folks. I'll let Jeff come in here and give y'all the heat, and then we'll close out. And like I said, go out there and vote, regardless of what you do, because this thing is definitely a serious matter. We'll see what happens next Tuesday.
Yeah, I was having issues with my laptop, but I like StreamYard. It was still recording. Had to go to the iPad. I'm like, oh Lord, the whole thing stopped recording. What the hell? Like, oh, tag back in. So definitely got to go vote, you know. And just briefly on that top with the female millennial, let the Bible lead you in all that, in life, love, business, everything, because they don't always have the answers. Stop listening today. Listen to the Lord. But definitely on voting, people died for us, had a right to vote in this country, so go vote. I mean, if you rock with what former President Trump do, go vote for him. If you rocking what VP Harris on, vote for her. If you don't like either, vote for yourself or Mom Duke. I don't know. But go vote. You still got the rest of the stuff, the judges and the other stuff on the ballot. Go vote. So if stuff ain't right, you can't say nothing because you didn't vote. You're going to look kind of foolish like you ain't even participate to be complaining. You know, so definitely do that. And I thank anybody give me birthday shouts. Appreciate it. So definitely want to get an episode for that because I ain't doing nothing on my birthday. Just this the only live thing you're going to see. Everything else is going to be a replay. We got time for that. But we definitely appreciate you rock with the show. And we should have some stuff coming up the next few episodes and keep rocking with the brand. And
yes, sir.
And I hope you guys see, can I find the rest of the stuff on the iPad? Brand, there we go. I found it. We hope y'all have a good one. So I can play the outro and see you next week.
Let's get it.